In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you a simple way to use the new sentiments from the John Next Door range by Crafts 2. And there are 3 new sets to add to the collection. So these add on top of the collections that we've done before. So the first one here you can see is relatives or family. And in here we have things like brother, great, grandmother, mam, mum, in-law, uncle, grandchild, son, mother. We have a lot of basic relatives that you would use in there. We also have 2 other sets. So we have Stencil Additions. So this has 2 new phrases, you're a star and best wishes, but has all the things you will need to add to the other sets to make longer sayings. So lots of and love, on the, with, belated, on your, and sorry. And there's things like you can actually just use your. So on your you can cut and just trim off. So you've got your, and you've got on the, or you can take that separately and have on and take the. And these will work perfectly with the John Next Door alphabet stencils, which work really, really well to give you individual letters and the numbers. And there's one more set, which is the occasions, which covers some more occasions. So we have put a birthday in there again because we use birthday a lot. But you've got new job, sympathy, graduation, retirement, good luck, new home, soon, get well, celebrate. And again, you can separate some of these out, like get and well, you can separate and use them separately. But it gives you all the different combinations that you could come up with. So that's family, which we've got there. You've got occasions, and you've got additions. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make the really nice strips like this. And we're going to decorate up the front of a card that we made in the tutorial for the Southie squares. So this is the background we made in that tutorial. If you want to watch that one, that's the John Next Door Southie squares tutorial. And we're going to put a sentiment onto this. So what I've done is this card features these beautiful ice cream colours, but also has the brown and the gold. I thought it would look fab to have the brown and the gold on top for the sentiments. So what I've done to start with, and this is the easiest way I found to start with these, I've cut some strips to 1 inch wide in the brown and in the gold. And those are the colours I'm going to use in the front and the back. So all we need to decide is what you're going to have. So let's choose from here one of the actual sentiments. So I'm going to go with grandma. So I think I'm going to use grandma. So I like grandma. So what I sometimes do is bring in a spare board so I can actually lay out my sentiment, see what I think. I've actually made these already like fridge magnets so that I can actually arrange them around. So I think we're going to go on your, how about best wishes on your, we could go with occasion. So let's go to the occasion, best wishes on your retirement, grandma. I'm not sure if I'll go with grandma. I'm going to change that and I'm going to go cousin. So I'm picking out randomly, but you would know what you actually want the sentiment to be. So it may be that you've got a cousin who's retiring and you want to send them sort of best wishes on their retirement. So I've chosen those ones out. That's what I want to do. So now I just need to pull out the dies for that. So I will need retirement from the occasion stencils. I will need best wishes and on your from the additions. And I'm going to need cousin from, there we go, there's cousin from the family. So I know what I'm aiming for, and there I have the actual dies that I need to do that. So what we're going to do next is to cut those. So I have the dies that I need to do, and I've worked out my layout. So I'm going to go best wishes on your retirement cousin. And this you can check to see, will these fit on your card? So you can have a look first. I'd really recommend doing some of these little pieces. So we're going to go best wishes on your retirement cousin. So I know now what I'm aiming for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use brown as the top for the best wishes. And all I'm simply going to do is take the strip and place it evenly so I get an even border around the side and the top and the bottom. And I'm using strips that are obviously longer than I need, but that actually helps to trim it exactly to size. So there's Best Wishes. I think I can get On Your on the same strip, so I'm doing that this time from the other side. Again, making sure there's an even border around all three sides. And we're going to go with Cousin. And I think it would be nice to switch the colours for Retirement. So I'm just going to tape the Cousin again, even border on three sides. But I'm going to do Retirement in gold on the brown because that's the important bit. So again, making sure even border around three sides. Really simple. All I then need to do is to cut these. So I'm using my Kaleido and I'm just going to cut them downwards. So if you notice, the Best Wishes and On Yours are too large. So I'll just trim those down roughly and place them so they cut this way. That gives you a lot better cut and stops you getting any bumps or bubbles in there. So I'm just going to take those and I'm running them through my Kaleido, which is my Crafts 2 A5 all-in-one foiling, die cutting and technique machine. But you can do these through any leading die. In fact, these will fit through any die machine, even your small aperture ones. So we're going to take these out. And what you'll see is that before we peel them off, we just want to trim them down to size. So this is a better way there to trim off the same border on the end. So this same border on the right hand side as I put on the left. And then we'll take that one off. And you can see there the letters have cut in and cut out. So a little bit of a flick, because I'm using a very thick card here, or use your pokey tool just to release the little pieces. So here we have Best Wishes. And you can carefully, if you want to, you could cut this in another colour and paper piece it in. To be honest, I find it works just as well to pop another colour behind it, and it's a lot easier. So again, even border on that side. Quick flick, take any excess pieces out. So there I have Cousin. Retirement, I'm going to do the same. Trim it an even border on that side. Take the Retirement off. Quick flick. I do tend to flick my die cut pieces to get the little bits out. I'll show you on the next one how I do that. So there's my Retirement. And then On Your, I just need to cut the other side because this was on the end. Take your die out, and all I do is literally take my finger and flick the paper. Hold it between thumb and forefinger, flick the paper, and 9 times out of 10 you'll get nearly every piece out. So all we then need to do is to glue those down to strips that contrast. So I'm simply going to pop them back to front in my spray box. I'm using spray glue and I use Craft Mount by 3M. Give them a good spray, as I find that that's the best one. And let's take a piece of gold first, and we'll go with Best Wishes. So you just want to match it up, and if you cut them each to the same size, they'll fit exactly and trim round. So there I have Best Wishes shining beautifully in gold. We have Retirement here, so I need a piece of brown. So the same thing again, match it on, that's fine. Trim down the excess. So Retirement, I have On Your, so I need another piece of gold. So I'm just using a scrap piece on my desk, match that up, and we'll trim that down. And finally Cousin, and again I've got another scrap of the gold one here, so I'm just going to match that on. And if you find like this, you've got a little bit popping forward, with them being straight, so you can see I've got a little edge of gold showing, I can easily trim that down using a guillotine or a pair of scissors, as I've done there. So if we take these ones out, I'll just pop those to one side. There I've got Best Wishes, On Your, Retirement, Cousin. So I'll bring in my card, and to just raise this up a little bit, I'm going to use a little bit of foam tape on the back of these, just so they stand a little bit proud from the card. And I use a 2mm foam tape, and that means I get that little bit of definition, but it's not too deep still for postage. So we go, here we go, on your, and finally that which will be retirement. So I can take off the pieces that I tested and put them away for next time. And I'm going to start with the one at the top. I'm going to start with Best Wishes, and I want to get that on nice and flat at the top. And then I want to start at the bottom, because I want to have these evenly spaced, and I will get it wrong if I go downwards. So what I'm doing is matching the even spacing there on Cousin. So I've got Best Wishes, Cousin, and that then gives me a nice gap to fill in. So I can go there and get a nice even space. So Best Wishes on your retirement, Cousin. So across that card then, I've put that sentiment, and I've got the gold showing through, but it says Best Wishes on your retirement in gold, Cousin. And you could change that for anything you want, but that's simply how easy they are to use to actually cut them into individual strips.